This one is probably the worst designed one in my opinion. Like as far as like monsters are pretty good. They're like pretty consistent and decent, but as far as like characters and stuff, I did not care for it that much. Like the main cast, there was not much to them. No. Like Kiefer basically had like a weird puffy hair fro thing going on, and your main character just looks like a poor man's Link. And then like Maribel and the other characters had some design, but not.
I like the different classes. Like it kind of remind me of Everybody's Gonna Hate This of 10-2 when you do all the dress sphere changes.
I liked that it changed up. Yeah, that is one of my favorite parts of the game. But like, it's not their design though. It's like it's a specialty design. Like,
okay, I didn't have that many problems with the design.
Really?
It's 50-50 for me.
Kiefer looks weird, but the other characters are okay.
I don't know.
The hero is fine. I think the class really helps because it changes the costumes of a lot of them.
Yeah.
So the customization of that is something I like more than that.
I did like that, but
than the standard design.
I still liked it.
And there doesn't seem to be too many new creatures.
No.
Too many new enemies, so I can't fault it for that.
I still think
it's the same.
Yeah, it's just, creatures and stuff is fine, but you gotta fall back onto like the new characters and the new stuff.
I still think 2 is the worst designed.
Oh yeah.
Well, considering like there's 14 creatures and like, well, I mean there's like 30 creatures, but like
color palettes.
All of them are just color palette changes of like 10 different creatures. So yeah, 2 is not.
Yeah, we got that in the chat, so I wanted to address it.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he's like. Worse than 2? So I was like, no, we got to correct that. It's not worse than 2.
Every aspect, 2 is the worst in.
Yeah.
Every aspect, even the soundtrack. Which is what we'll go into next. The soundtrack, gentlemen.
Segue.
It's good. I like the soundtrack.
It's my favorite.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good one. It has
between that and 4.
For the 3DS one, it's more dynamic than the other ones we've heard.
Yes.
Yep.
So like that may be why we like it more.
Yeah. There's a lot more to it.
Yeah, I mean it's good, and I mean I had to turn the sound off every now and then because again it's a 90-hour game.
I always do that. Like. Up to this point, I've always turned the sound off. I
always know when there's gonna be like a new song happening, so like I turn on for the songs, but like
so it's only during
because it's like basically for combat, but like it's still a 90-hour game, so you're gonna hear a lot of songs over and over and over and over. So you gotta turn the sound down.
That's when I put on South Park. Turn the sound down.
On South Park?
No. Turn the sound down on 7 so I can hear South Park.
Yeah. So yeah.
How can you like watch? Well, I can't even say the word watch, but like listen to movies or TV shows. Like I don't get that.
Turn-based RPG.
Well, then you watch it. You actually would watch the show while you're grinding. Just listening.
I do watch the show when I'm grinding.
Okay, but the way that Dylan described it,
I don't have to pay attention. I don't have to pay attention to the game when I'm grinding.
I'll look up every once in a while, but
I'll make sure that none of my characters are dead or poisoned, and then I just keep watching the show. There's like
and also I have my characters auto battle anyway.
Oh yeah, auto battle, of course. Yeah. So why do you need to look at the 3D?
Exactly. Just got to know where you're going,
show.
And then just watch South Park.
Yeah. Not listen. All right, so I really enjoyed 7 soundtrack.
Any song particular that popped out to you?
Nothing. Just it's solid across the board.
There's no one specific you'd put above the rest, though.
Probably the world map theme.
That one is pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't remember anything really from soundtrack, which isn't good or
Battle
bad.
Themes
but
are maybe a little weak compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
But the town themes are the best ones so far I've heard in the series.
Yeah, it's pretty nice to hear like new ones because they have like a different song for every fucking place.
Oh yeah, there's a full soundtrack now.
Yeah, just nothing stands out to me, which has been kind of typical for the Dragon Quest games up to this point.
Yeah, that is true. Nothing that's really, really over the top, but it's fitting for what games are, or I should say what games were back then.
Yeah.
They didn't need to be these grand, monstrous masterpieces of set pieces. They just needed to fit a game. And I think Sugiyama does that quite well still.
So we're like up to 2001 as far as like the games go in the series. We're at 2001. So it's understandable that nothing's really that impressive yet. But like there are some games with good soundtracks.
Of course.
But I don't know. I just don't feel like this one's that great. It's just a solid middle ground one.
He's consistent. He's
Yeah.
not a Nobuo or Mitsuda
But
or whoever does the Ys soundtracks.
what
Oh
I was
my
getting
God.
at is that good music is possible, but this isn't like a great example of
don't
awesome
use
video game music.
Yeah, don't use that music as a catalyst to tell your story.
Dragon Quest 7, or well, not just Dragon Quest 7, but Dragon Quest in general doesn't really go for like Nobuo Uematsu for Final Fantasy does things for
Emotion.
like emotion. He goes for like the big scores. Like he wants you to focus on the music itself, whereas like for Dragon Quest, it's more like background ambience, you know, melody. Yeah, like it's not supposed to like take over the game. It's meant to like accent it. So that's why it's more like he's more consistent because he doesn't try to like. Yeah, he doesn't try to make things like weird or like. FF8 hits terrible. Anyway,
drips.
Yeah, so yeah, Dragon Quest in general, it's like the music is very consistent across the series because it's not trying to be big and loud and like forceful, whereas other series tend to do that.
Right.
And that kind of is good, and it kind of hurts it.
It's
Well,
more
when
like
we're used to
a.
RPGs that do that kind of thing.
Well, yeah,
It-
if you
we-
compare
I
it
don't
to Final
feel.
Fantasy,
I don't feel
force
like
us
it's.
to-
I don't feel like it's a lesser thing.
No, it's
but
not a
I
lesser,
don't
we just
feel
get-
like it's a bonus either. It's just it's there.
Yeah.
It serves its purpose, but it also doesn't like detract.
yeah.
So
We
So-
get set in our ways because of stuff like that. When there's different ways to approach an RPG, when most of us, our repertoire in RPGs has been that kind of thing,
Yeah.
it's just a bit of a climate shift for us
Yeah.
to adjust to it.
Up to this point, though, I think Final Fantasy's music has been way, way better.
Of course,
Yeah.
Nobuo's
it's
the
also way more inconsistent.
That's very true, too. Yeah.
There are some real lows.
Yeah.
But then there are also like a handful of highs.
Well, to you, yeah.
Oh, hi there. I hope you enjoyed this clip from Puff Puff Hour, a Dragon Quest podcast. If you happen to like what you see, you should subscribe. We have full podcast episodes detailing the main series of Dragon Quest 1 through 11. Oh yeah, and if you like the content, you should check out our other shows from All Out Geekdom Entertainment. We have Nude Clan and Ultima Final Fantasy, the ultimate Final Fantasy podcast. Or, Dragon Quest.